away. So, welcome everybody to night number 4 of our inspirational travel evenings. And I'm delighted to see so many people coming again to join us. And for all the new people that are coming for the first time tonight, you're very welcome. And for those that are joining us for the second, third, or fourth night, thank you for coming back. We've a really, really lovely evening this evening. You're going to be spoiled looking at the products on board tonight, and ships, the itineraries, and the stuff that these guys have to show you is going to leave you fairly breathless, I think, by the end of the evening. So as before, for those of you that are new, those that have been here before, you'll see on your screen, if you're not used to Zoom, that you have a Q&A section and you have a chat section. If you can't hear us, if you can't see us, if there's any issues, just pop a message in the chat box. If you just want to say hello and share your thoughts throughout the evening, we'd love to hear from you as the evening goes on. Any questions and answers, just put them in the Q&A box as well, and we'll be stopping throughout the evening for questions and answers. We've been kind of aiming for an hour or so. I think we might be a little bit longer this evening, and I know with questions and answers, depending on the number of questions, that can bring us on. But we've 3 presenters this evening, so we might go a little bit over that, but hopefully you won't even notice the time go by. So, bring on now. So, just a quick overview of Platinum Travel. I made light of this last night, that those of you that have been here all week will be getting a test at the end of the evenings to see if you've learned this off by heart. But for those of you that are only joining us for the first time, I just want to quickly run through who Platinum Travel are. So we're here since 2005, Irish owned. Our last award, we're lucky to have won a few awards over the years, but the most recent one, and the one we're most proud of, was at the end of 2019 with the Irish Travel Trade News, when we won Travel Agent of the Year. And that picture down the right hand corner is us just being very, very delighted and excited and over the moon on the night. We were in shock. It was only 3 months before COVID hit our shores, and it just reminds us of how good things were and how good they will be again. I'll try not to mention the C word for the rest of the evening, because this is a positive evening and we're not thinking anything negative about pandemics. So that was our award in 2019. We pride ourselves on a friendly personal service. It's all about attention to detail and listening to what the client wants. Our team are very experienced. We've been in the travel industry for a long time, and many, many areas: sports travel, USA travel, luxury travel worldwide, corporate travel, leisure travel, pretty much nothing we haven't touched before. We constantly train, both on destinations and on new products. So for the likes of the guys on joining us this evening, we would have been training on their new ships, their new itineraries, same with the rest of the stuff you've seen this week, and also with destinations all over the world and what's changing and what's new and new adventures. And we are getting more adventurous as a nation, and people are traveling more when they can and exploring new destinations. We only work with really, really reputable partners worldwide. This is extremely important to us. Once you have left our hands here in the booking process, we need to know that the new hands you're in are looking after you on health, safety, experience, insurance, everything. And same with the people that are here with us tonight, we know they will look after you when you get there. Licensed and bonded by CAR, that's the Commission for Aviation Regulation in Ireland. And as I've said every evening this week, it's really important when you book a holiday this year, next year, that you book with a licensed and bonded agent, because then you are protected and your money is protected and you have backup. No matter what happens to that agent or operator, you're always protected. A booking for the industry in our Republic of Ireland is important for all of us, because we're a very small industry and we look after each other and we care about each other. There's only 3,000 of us, so we'd like to support our industry and make sure you're looked after. And finally, 24/7 emergency contact on any trip that you're on anywhere in the world. You will always have somebody on hand from Platinum Travel to call if you need us. And I hope I got through everything as quick as I can there, not to sound repetitive from every other night this week. So thanks for listening to that, guys. So on to the more exciting things that we have. Tonight we have 3 gorgeous products, and I'm delighted to introduce the 3 people that are going to join us tonight. First of all, we have Amanda Midler from Silversea. There's a wave there, Amanda.
Hello everyone.
And then we have Nabil Maillard. I hope I said that correctly, Nabil, he's joining us from Paris, from Ponant.
Yes, perfectly well, Chiara. Thank you for having me.
We'll speak in English, though. We won't do any more French, just in case. My mother might be listening. And then finally, our third presenter this evening is Valerie Murphy. Now, unfortunately, Valerie couldn't join us, but she very kindly sent her recording in. So any Q&A, myself and Paula will attempt to answer them, and I'm sure maybe Amanda and Nabil will probably be able to answer general cruise if there's any on celebrity. But she sent us in a fabulous presentation, and she sends her apologies, but it was unfortunate that she couldn't come at the last minute. So she's not here, but we have Paula down the end, and I should all recognise Paula at this stage, and Paula is one of our very valued team here as well in Platinum Travel. So with no further ado, I'm going to hand you to the very, very safe hands of Amanda, and she's going to show you Silversea. I'd love to, I'll tell you, it's stunning, absolutely stunning, but she knows her stuff, so I'm going to let her share it all with you. I'm going to stop sharing now, Amanda, and I'll let you take over, and you should be good to go. Let's see if that we can. Perfect. Yeah, that works.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. As Kira said, my name is Amanda Midler, and I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Scotland and also Ireland. Confuses everybody. I live in Glasgow, but I talk with my Manchester accent. But I did, until the C word, I spent an awful lot of my time in Ireland. So some of you may have met me before. But I'm absolutely thrilled to be asked by Kira and Platinum Travel to introduce you to the world of Silversea Cruises tonight. What I've done is I've put a small presentation together, and what I wanted to do is tell you a little bit about the product, and then a quick walk around the ship, because I know you'll all want to see what the ship looks like and what your suites look like. And then I'll talk about some of the cruises very quickly, and then see some of the offers as well. So first of all, what sets us apart, it really is the size of the ships and the places that we can go to because of the size of the ships. Our biggest ship would hold 608 guests. And if you compare that to a mainline cruise company, if they had our ships that hold 600, they would have nearly double the capacity. So our maximum is 600 with nearly 1-to-1 guest to crew ratio. We visit over 900 different destinations every year. And we've just literally launched 2022, 2023 voyages, and actually 61 brand new maiden ports to Silversea. I'm going to show you the suites. We don't have cabins, we have suites, and they're all outside facing, and they start at 376 square feet. So all suite accommodation. And this is just some pictures of various different suite angles that we've got. But when you book with Silversea and what to expect, so your suite, we lead in with what's called a Vista suite. And the Vista suite would be a large picture window. And then we go up to nearly 90% of our suites would have verandas. You can see the gorgeous bathroom there. I'm going to show you another picture of the bathroom, but you can see the full-size bathtub as well. The bathrooms are absolutely beautiful, as well as the suites. So you walk into the suite, you've got your bathroom, you then carry on, you've got a full-size dressing room, lots of space to hang your clothes, safe there, drawers, fluffy dressing gown, slippers. You come into your bedroom, and then every suite, no matter what category, has its lounge area as well. Now, in the lounge area, one of the highlights is the fact there's a fridge there, and every suite has a butler service. So twice a day, your ice bucket's filled, your lemons are sliced, and your fridge is restocked. When you arrive on your first day, the butler will come and introduce themselves to you, and they will ask you what you want to drink, and it's all your very best. So all your Bombay Sapphire, Grey Goose vodka, your champagne, your wine, anything you like. And then in the fridge, all your mixes will go. So your tonics, slimline tonics, your Coke, your water, lemonade, orange, anything at all. And then, in fact, when I show you the picture properly of the bedroom, we'll give you a better insight into it. But everything is included that I mentioned, and even the stationery in your suites printed with your name, your hairdryer is obviously there, and also your Wi-Fi works all around the ship and in your suites, and that is all complimentary as well. So this is a better picture, and in fact it isn't the best picture because actually the suites look longer in real life, but you can see how lovely the suites are. The colour scheme is lovely. All the ships are furbished to this standard and to this colour scheme now, and you can see your dressing room, sorry, your lounge area there, which is very handy to have those curtains, because wherever we go in the world, my husband always wants the rugby on, even if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. So I often shut the curtains while he watches the telly inside the lounge area. And then in front of the bed here, there's a full length mirror, and behind the mirror is another television as well. And then this is the other side of the bathroom. So I said to you all, have a look at the bath. So the bath would be on the left hand side of the picture, and it's a full size bathtub. And then on the right hand side, you've got your big rainforest shower. And, you know, it really is a lovely size bathroom. There's no having to shimmy in as you walk into the bathroom thinking you're going to hit the toilet or the shower. You know, two of you can quite easily wash your teeth and put your makeup on, etc. together. And it's all Italian marble as well. I'll just also point out our signature Bulgari toiletries as well. So you've got the Bulgari toiletries, and the butler retops those up as you need them. And then just we'll start in a little walk around the ship. This is the Arts Cafe, and this would be on all of our ships that hold 600 guests, as well as that Silver Shadow. So 5 of our classic ships would have an Arts Cafe. It really is a funky place to go. You go in there, you can have a light breakfast, a lovely lunch, you can have specialty coffees, glass of champagne, gin and tonic, pot of tea, anything you want. In the afternoon, they have the most fantastic salads in a glass. That's just the way they serve them. And then these great big afternoon tea cakes, if you like that sort of thing as well. What you can't really see is if you go to the back of the picture, the glass, there's big doors there, and there's lovely couches and lounges for you to sit out there in the shade if you wanted to as well. And the Arts Cafe would be open until late in the evening. Moving on, I know it is all about eating, and I can't go through it with the time all of the restaurants, but I'll just highlight my favourite couple of restaurants. The Grill is outside. That would be very casual dining, so you can dine under the stars or you can dine in the snow depending on where you are, and it really is a fabulous experience. So the waiter will bring a hot rocks, and you choose your cut of meat or fish. And then he brings all your chips, your potatoes, your salads, your sauces and everything. But it's very dinner al fresco. You meet lovely people. There's a really nice atmosphere. Sometimes there's a singer on the pool deck, so people dance. Sometimes we have a chocolate party after dinner where they do this great big chocolate buffet. So all sorts goes on, but it really is a nice area. One of the nice things about Silversea is you can dine anywhere at any time with anyone. So if you wanted just a table for 2, you can do that. But if you wanted to come down with some friends, or you've been in the bar and met people, then you can all walk down and say table for 6, table for 8. The other thing I like to do as well is join what's called an open table. Atlantide is our seafood and meat restaurant. There's a lovely bar just as you walk in. You can have a glass of champagne or a drink there before you sit down. And then it's got these great big velvet cushiony chairs. It really is lovely, and it's a lovely dining room to go into. Indochine, Asian fusion, so mix of curry, Indian, Chinese, Japanese, Malaysian. So that's really a nice option as well. And then La Dame is on all of our ships, and that's our French restaurant. And that would be the one where you would pay a supplement to dine. And it's $60 US, but it is something rather special. And it's all about the food is paired with the wines and the champagnes. And Silver Note is our jazz bar, and you can eat in the jazz bar as well, or just listen to jazz later on. So I just thought I'd put us all in the mood for a holiday by showing you the pool deck. And we all love our pool decks, don't we? So what you can't see is to the left, there's a bar area. So it's a full waiter service around the pool deck. They come along, you can have all your cocktails, all your drinks, anything you want at all. And on the right-hand side is the grill. So you can have things like a light lunch. You can have grilled fish, hamburger, hot dog, Caesar salad, stir fry, there's that type of thing. So it's quite, it's a selected menu, but it's a lovely menu just for lunch. The sun loungers go right around the ship, and if you go to the back of the ship, there's another hot tub there. And what's nice, you're not going to have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and prod your husband and say, quick, go and put a towel on the sun lounger. Whatever time of day you go down to the pool, there is always sun loungers there. And the guys there will help you. They'll put your towel out for you. They'll bring your drink over. And, you know, within the second day, they know exactly what you want, where you want to be positioned, and what drink you want to start off with. So I always have my cold ice water when I go down, first of all. And by the time I get up the stairs, and because I like to be upstairs, they're there with my ice water, and I'm facing the sun. So the pool deck, lots of activities go on around the pool deck as well. You know, it really is quite a sociable place. Carrying on, this is the Panorama Lounge. So every night about 4 o'clock, they always have team trivia in here. I mention this because it's the most competitive thing that they do on the ship. Everybody gets very excited, and there's some really good competition, and you know, people really enjoy meeting different people at team trivia. The Panorama Lounge in the day, you could go up and have a coffee, you could read. There's lovely terraces, if you can just see outside again through those glass doors. Really nice to sit there in the evening and have a drink before you go for dinner, or even much later. When you go for a drink about 7 o'clock, there's a quartet playing, some people dance, and then much later on that turns into a nightclub. So there's a DJ that comes on, and you can have a boogie there if you wanted to. Normally after dinner, I love to go through the glass door, sit outside, listen to the DJ as we sail along. So this is the terrace outside. So as you go outside, this is the terraces with all the areas where you can sit. And then this is one of the best kept secrets on the ship. This is the observation lounge right at the front of the ship. It's a lovely place to come and sit, to read. There's lots of books in there. They print the newspaper for every language, nationality we have on board. So that's there in the observation lounge for you to read. Lovely place to have a drink before dinner. And if you're in port and you like to watch what's going on, you know, with those floor to ceiling windows, it really is spectacular. Sailing out of New York, can you imagine sitting there with your nice glass of champagne, and as you sail past the Statue of Liberty? I can recommend that because I was lucky enough to do that about 3 years ago. It was a real wow because the snow was coming down and it was cold, but fantastic views. And then I say to you that we're small ships, but we do have all the big ship activities, but it's the way that we do all the activities. So every evening when you go back to your suite, there's a newsletter that's left on your bed, and all your activities are there all day. So there's things like fashion shows, talks on jewellery. We have guest lectures come on board. They might be playing water polo. They could be doing bingo. They could be doing French lessons. They could be doing Spanish lessons. So it really is a full day of activity. But what we don't do is you don't have bing bong, in 10 minutes there's bingo in the Panorama Lounge. You just have to read the newsletter and know that that's happening. Now, walking around the ship, you can see at the bottom in the middle, La Opera is our show lounge. So in the evening, there's a full show on with a full production most evenings. And what we do and that we're really good at is we bring guests on. So for instance, if we were lucky when we were in Dublin, we had some of the cast of Riverdance come on one evening. We were up in Aberdeen and we got the pipes and drums on. And I've been into the Caribbean and we've had the steel drums and the band come on. Fantastic nights, but we did that up on the pool deck. So we always tend to bring somebody in from local as well. Dolce Vita's the main bar, so that's open till the last man standing. It's a lovely big bar. There's like a round bar stools all around the bar, so you can sit there. In the evening, there's a guy playing the piano, a bit of Michael Bublé, Frank Sinatra, and there's a really lovely atmosphere. There's a spa there, so you can go and have all your treatments. Now, the spa is really just one of the only things that you pay for. So if you had a treatment and you had a sauna that would be complimentary. But if you had a massage or your hair blown, then you would pay for that. There's boutiques on board, and then there is a really good fitness centre gym. And we do all fitness classes, so you can do a stretch, you can do your yoga, your Pilates, and that is all complimentary as well. So just very recently, as I said to you, we launched 315 more voyages on sale for 22-23 with 61 maiden ports. Now, I'm just going to whiz through these very quickly because of time. But first of all, the Mediterranean is always our most popular itinerary. We would sell 40% of our bookings would be to the Mediterranean, and we have 4 ships based in the Mediterranean. So very quickly, this is a new itinerary for us to Cape Verde. So this goes from Lisbon to Dakar on the 9th of November 22. This is on one of our biggest ships, our brand new ship that's going to launch in August, Silver Dawn. 600 guests on board, 10 restaurants to choose from. The next one would be one of our signature cruises, Rome to Barcelona. It's 7 nights on Silver Dawn. There's lots of different dates to do that itinerary. But with Silversea, we go into Monte Carlo. You go right into Monte Carlo, and you know, some of the ports there on that lovely Livorno. If you wanted to go and see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The next one is a 9-night itinerary. It's on Silver Dawn again, the new ship, Rome to Venice, and all again different dates that we can go there. And then finally, 12th of October, Athens round trip, including the Greek islands and the Holy Lands. And that is an 11-day itinerary. Everybody loves the Caribbean. I know it'd probably be it would be my favorite destination. Now, I haven't really explained to you, but as well as classic cruising, we also have 4 expedition ships. And expedition is for those of you that like some soft adventure. And really, it would be different as in what you'd learn, what you'd see, the fact you'd get close to nature. We do places like the Arctic, the Antarctic, the Russian Far East, but more and more these new expedition voyages are coming out. And so you normally would consider the Caribbean as a real classic destination. But here's one, the first itinerary with the red is down from Barbados to Fort Lauderdale on expedition. So it means you get off the ship, you've got zodiacs, you get really close to the wildlife, and it's just experience the Caribbean like you've never done before. Something again a little bit different, October the 27th, 22, you can travel from Punta Arenas to Guayaquil. It's 11 days on one of the expedition ships, Silver Wind, and that covers Costa Rica, Panama and Ecuador. Now, the next one is one of my favorite itineraries. I mentioned to you about cruising out of New York. It's very cold. The snow can be coming down. It's November, so actually the 2nd of November 22. You overnight in Bermuda, and as you're cruising out of New York towards Bermuda, it's getting hotter and hotter. That's a 12-day itinerary and takes you right down to the Caribbean on Silver Whisper. And then finally, the last one is one of our regular Caribbean cruises that we do, San Juan to San Juan. It's 7 nights on Silver Dawn. Now, what's nice about Silversea is when you book a Silversea cruise, all your flights, your transfers, and if you were doing a long haul, your overnight hotel before you got on the ship is included as well. And San Juan is a really nice place to visit. It's very Spanish. You've got the fort there. As you get off the ship, there's a train that takes you right around the port. So it's something a little bit different, but a really nice experience and way to see the Caribbean. And then Asia. So I've just put a couple of itineraries, and I know that Platinum Travel have got a special for one of our Japan cruises. But the first one is Japan and South Korea. It's a 16-day itinerary from Tokyo back to Tokyo. It goes in April 23. You stop at 9 different destinations, but you've got the bright lights of Asia and you visit Japan's capital. You can also visit Kobe as well. So something a little bit different there for you. And then the next one is an iconic Japan, again, Tokyo to Tokyo. It's 10 days this time on Silver Shadow. This is September the 27th, 22. You've got iconic ports and you've got some off the beaten tracks ports as well. So you've got Akita. Every port on that itinerary is a real hidden gem. And, you know, choose your times. Again, for going to Japan, you can also choose and see the cherry blossom. Southeast Asia, this next one, this is Singapore to Tokyo, 16 nights on Silver Muse. And on this itinerary, you've got 3 days in Ho Chi Minh City and also a day in Hong Kong. And then you've got Shanghai as well. So something a little bit different for you. And finally, one of our, I call it iconic ones that we would do is the Hong Kong to Singapore. You've got the iconic stops in Vietnam. So just to quickly cover what you get when you pay for a Silversea cruise, I've mentioned about the fact you've got your air, so all your air is included. You've got your transfers, and if you're on a long haul, your overnight stay as well. If you're traveling to the Mediterranean or Northern Europe, it's a business class airfare, but if it's long haul, it's economy, but we do have lots of offers for business class or premium economy as well if you wanted to. If we weren't right into town, which normally we are, we get right into these small ports, a shuttle is provided. It runs every 15 minutes and takes you right into the centre of the port. I've mentioned the butler service. Now, another big one is all your onboard gratuities. They're all included. So you've no worry about the bill mounting up every day. So everything is included, all your drinks that I've mentioned, all your food, except for you've got your French restaurant with the supplement. So the only thing really you need to pay for is your spa treatments and your shopping in the shop. New for us as well is the fact that your shore excursions are included from May 22. So all itineraries, you have a list of shore excursions that you can choose. Your multiple dining options and also your unlimited Wi-Fi. So just to give you a quick idea, and I've put these into euros for you. And so if you look on the right hand of the screen, first of all, this is a really nice one if you've never been on Silversea before. So this is with your business class airfare. And it's October the 3rd, 22. And this is from Venice back to Venice. So a really nice itinerary with Croatia there. Got some lovely stops. Now your price for that, including your business class air, your transfers, and then 7 nights on the ship is a 3,240, 3,240 euros. And that is including that in that price, you've got your 10% early booking bonus, which is something that we do. If you book and pay in full by this, at the moment, it's the 30th of March, you actually get 10% off that cost. And as a special tonight, you've also got $250 onboard credit on there as well. And then just for those of you that are getting really excited, looking forward to a trip, this is down to the Caribbean. We've got lots of Caribbean starting November this year, going all the way through to March. So this is a Vista Suite. It's economy flights. You've got your transfers, a 1-night stay in Fort Lauderdale, and then 15 nights on the ship. And that again is a price if you book before the 30th of March. Another one, this is Fort Lauderdale, back to Fort Lauderdale. This is January the 3rd, 11 nights on Silver Spirit, and there's your euro price of 4,240. So it's a 12-night holiday. So you've got 1 night in the hotel and then 11 nights on the ship. This has got a special promotion on this one at the moment with your 20% off if you book with the early booking bonus. Because you've joined us tonight, and thank you very much for taking the time to join us, you have a euro gift certificate. So you've got 200 euros per person off for your bookings if you book that in the next 2 weeks. So there we go. That's me. Thank you very much. I know I've whistled through that and I've tripped up on my own words at some point, but hopefully that's given you an insight into the world of Silversea. I am open for questions now. I know Paula and Kira are about to come back on, so they can help me with questions as well. But has anybody asked any questions? Anybody got anything for me?
Yeah, Amanda, Aidan has just asked how many passengers typically are on the ships, and when they resume post-COVID, what capacity will be used?
Okay, so we have, if we're talking about classic ships, the expedition ships go very much smaller. They start at 100 guests up to about 270 maximum. But for classic cruising, we would go from between 2 ships would hold 388 and the other 4 ships would hold 600. Now, what we're going to do is, it is changing all the time with COVID, and it depends as well. It's all to do with the regions where we're going to cruise from. But we will, I believe, start at 75%. So we're going to reduce the capacity while everybody gets used to the different protocols. So for this year, they're talking about reducing to 75%. Start of sail, we are hoping to sail again in the summer. It looks Mediterranean and possibly UK will start. There will be some voyages in Australia and New Zealand, but that will be purely for Australia and New Zealand citizens. But for us, for our market here, we'd be looking at the brand new ship, the Silver Moon, that's just launched. Not sailed yet, but she's just come out of the shipyard. She's just built, 600 guests, and then Silver Shadow possibly in the UK in the summer.
And Carmel was just asking if you could just remind us the 2 restaurants that the supplement is applicable on.
The supplement is on the French restaurant La Dame.
Okay. Oh, just one, is it?
Just let me think about this. If you eat in the evening in the Japanese restaurant, there is a supplement as well. But on most of all the ships, they've got the French restaurant, and that's where there is a supplement. Everywhere else you can dine, and that's, you choose your time. Sometimes you can book if you want. The butlers will book it for you, but otherwise you can walk in. And you know, it's open dining whenever you want.
It's really unbelievable. Sorry, Paula, go on. I'll let you talk first.
No, sorry, I was just going to say you covered so much, Amanda, that the only other question I have at the moment is, will the 30th of March booking deadline be extended? Neil's just asked.
It will, but what happens is on the 30th of March, the prices will go up slightly. So to encourage people to use the early booking bonus, and I would say nearly 90% of bookings come in and they use the EBB. The next one after that will go through till the end of May. So if you haven't done something by the 30th of March, because I know we're very close now, but the girls at Platinum will know. We'll hold the option and then we'll just confirm it after the 30th of March.
Perfect. And in a call earlier today, you very kindly gave us some amazing exclusive offers as well, which we'll share with everybody afterwards too. But you've been very generous with your offers, Amanda. And I think it's amazing to see how much is included. You know, sometimes people can look at the price of a cruise and say, oh my God, it's too expensive. But actually, when you look at that list that slide that you had with so much included, I mean, unless you want to shop, which a lot of people mightn't shop, or they mightn't, you know, do a spa treatment, you don't put your hand in your pocket for the rest of the trip. So it's really phenomenal value.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I often say, you know, you have to look at it. Yes, you do pay a little bit more to go on the into the ultra luxury market, but actually what is included and what you get. And, you know, one of your questions might be, how friendly is it? Do you know, because everybody's paid, as you literally walk through the bar, people are like, oh, Amanda, come and have a drink, you know, and you make these friends and you sit there in a circle and nobody's worried about signing a chit or who's paying for all these gin and tonics that are out on the table. And so, you know, it really does make a difference. And I often say, you know, when you can book a cruise, it's not what you pay to get on the ship, it's what you pay to get off. But yes, with Silversea, many a time I've got off the ship without a bill to pay. So yes, it is nice. And what's nice is it's all your premium products as well. So, you know, it's all your champagnes, free pouring, it's your lovely gins, you know, your nice whiskies. So it's everything, you know, at a really nice quality.
Really, really good quality. And you kindly let us on a couple of years ago with a ship that was in port, and we had dinner with you and we brought clients on board, and it was just such a beautiful experience, really gorgeous experience. 2 other quick things I thought of. First of all, the Japan offer, anybody that's interested in that, we'll send that out. You mentioned the Japan offer earlier on. And just explain, and again, I always talk in Kira terms here, what a Zodiac is, because you spoke about the expedition ships, and if you're not familiar with expeditioning and how they work, you know, when you go to the Antarctic, and I know Nabil, you'll probably touch on this later, what a Zodiac is. Might seem like an obvious thing, but not to me initially.
So when you get off, you can often have like a wet landing, or the ship is docked. So it's anchored, it's not docked, in other words. And so they use, like, how would you say, would you call it a rib boat? Would you know what I mean by a rib boat? So they're sort of the rubber boats with the engine. And you can fit about 10 people on them. And, you know, if you look at some of these places that we go to, and you can get really, you know, around the marine life, and some of the pictures I've got, if you look at some of the presentations I do on expedition, you can just get so up and close. And we have a fleet of Zodiacs. They're all driven by the expedition leaders. So you get off in small groups of 10, and then you've got this real expert with you who's talking about what you're seeing. And, you know, maybe you've got whales in the water with you, or you're in the Galapagos, you know, and it's all about the marine life. Or we do the Kimberleys now, which is a really big destination for us, up in the northwest of Australia. And you've got this thing called the Montgomery Reef, where the water drops, I think it's 14 feet. And you literally, as the water drops, you can be there on your Zodiacs, literally at the side of it, watching. And then it's all the reef that's left and the fish that you see and everything. So with the Zodiacs, there's so much more and so much closer you can get to.
That's the key point. I think those little differences, and the expedition, I know the experts you have on board on the expedition ships are fascinating as well. I think that's pretty much everything I wrote down there, unless anything else comes in. We might have more cruise questions later on as well. So you'll stay with us, Amanda, absolutely, and we'll keep going. So thank you very much. You know your stuff. I mean, you've been doing this a while. You know your stuff. This is brilliant. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to Valerie. And Valerie is, as we said, unfortunately not with us this evening, but she has kindly shared her presentation. And Celebrity Cruises are another excellent 5-star ship. I know you kind of think, we've seen one ship, you've seen them all. You haven't. There are 3 very different products we have here this evening, all with unique selling points. So we'll have a look at Celebrity now, and then we won't leave you out, Nabil. I promise we're coming to you soon. Okay, so let me just bring up the here now. So this is for Valerie. Okay, and sorry, so I forgot to do one thing here. Now, okay, so Valerie Murphy. And
good evening, my name is Valerie Murphy. I am Strategic Account Manager for Celebrity Cruises in Ireland, and I'm delighted to be invited by Ciara in Platinum Travel to showcase Celebrity Cruises to you this evening. Some of you may have cruised with Celebrity before, some of you may have cruised at other cruise lines, and some of you may be totally new to cruise. So what I'm going to do is start by just giving you a little quick overview of who we are. I am then going to take you on a ship tour so you can see what we offer on board our ships to make a great cruise experience for our guests. And then I'm going to show you some lovely destination videos to give you some inspiration for your next cruise holiday. So who are Celebrity Cruises? Well, we have been in the business for 30 years. We're a 5-star luxury cruise line. We have 14 ships in our fleet, and we offer luxury cruise holidays to the 7 continents. I'm just going to start briefly by just touching on our brand pillars, because these are the areas of excellence that we consistently try and raise the bar throughout our fleet. When it comes to destinations, we offer iconic sites and personalized local experiences. We have used some world-renowned architects, designers and engineers to create our entire luxury fleet. These include Tom Wright, who built the Burj Al Arab in Dubai, and also Kelly Hoppen, who was very much involved in the design of our new ships Edge and Apex. We offer luxurious, spacious accommodation, including our retreat, which is all about suites, which I will touch on later. And then when it comes to culinary, we have amazing food on board. Our menus are overseen by our Michelin-starred chefs. And for those of you who like wine, we have one of the largest wine cellars at sea. Plus, we have certified sommeliers in all our restaurants. I think increasingly we've seen more guests become health conscious and wanting to incorporate a little bit of wellness and fitness into their holidays. So we have certainly tapped into this by offering beautiful spa facilities, and also we have fully equipped fitness centres on board our ships for the more energetic. This is all underpinned by our fantastic service. We offer 2-to-1 guest staff ratio, so you get impeccable service from start to finish to create a really memorable cruise experience. So now I'm going to start with the ship tour. So we'll start at the top of the ship. This is images of our new ships, Edge and Apex. This is the beautiful pool resort area where you'll see we have amazing pool with lovely sun loungers. We have our lovely martini shaped hot tubs. And this is a great place for you to relax during the day and soak up the sun. And then when the sun goes down at night, the place becomes alive and it turns into a new entertainment venue with live music, etc. We also have lovely cabanas that you can relax in throughout your cruise as well. And we have a lovely adult-only solarium, which is a great little place to relax and sneak off to, especially if you've had a big lunch in the afternoon. This is our world famous magic carpet, which is on board Edge and Apex, our new ships. And it's the world's first cantilever platform at sea. And it becomes different venues and different decks. On deck 2, we use it for a very smooth embarkation. On deck 5, it becomes an extension of a fabulous seafood restaurant we have called Raw at 5. On deck 14, it becomes an extension of the pool area. So it's a really nice, comfortable place where you can relax, unwind, and have a few drinks and some snacks while enjoying the amazing views at sea. And then on deck 16, it becomes an amazing dining experience called Dinner on the Edge, where you have probably the best views at sea over your meal. We have other fabulous places that you can relax as well on board our ships. Rooftop garden on Edge and Apex. Again, there's entertainment here throughout the day and you can relax, unwind, take in the views. And then our salsa class ships have half an acre of real grass. So again, it's a really nice place for guests to relax. You can play bowls, practice golf. So lots of stuff to do outdoors. This is our beautiful spa designed by Kelly Hoppen on board Edge and Apex. And we have a beautiful thermal suite with up to 8 different rooms, including a float room, salt room, sauna, and there's 120 different cutting edge treatments you can avail of as well if you want to totally indulge on your holiday. When it comes to accommodation, we have everything from inside to ocean view to balconies and suites. And I have a nice little video I'm going to show you now, which will highlight what we offer our suite class guests. Yeah, so pretty impressive, I think. If you stay in the retreat, well, in one of our suites, you also get your own inclusive sun deck. So this is your own private space. It's like a resort within a resort. It's got that high-end luxury feel to it. There's lovely plush loungers. You've got your own pool or hot tub, and we have retreat attendants to care for your every need. So you could just visualize sipping cocktails by the pool. We also offer our retreat class guests their own private lounge. So again, here throughout the day, you can avail of complimentary gourmet snacks and beverages. And there's also a concierge service there as well to attend to your needs. One of my favorites is the retreat restaurant Lumine, and this is an exclusive restaurant purely for our suite class guests. The menu here is overseen by our Michelin star chef, and it's only available, the menus are only available in Lumine. They're not available anywhere on the ship. Retreat class guests also get butlers and specialty dining too. So there's lots of other great perks of staying in a suite. On the subject of dining, we have up to 29 bars and restaurants on board our ships, depending on which ship you're traveling on. And dining really is a culinary adventure with Celebrity. We have fine dining in our main restaurants. We have more casual dining as well, where you can dine al fresco inside. So there's lots of dining options for our guests. And guests who book to stay in our Aqua Class rooms, they have their own restaurant called Blue, which is purely for our Aqua Class guests. Food here is kind of healthier, Mediterranean style food, and they can have breakfast and dinner here. So instead of probably putting on the usual 8 to 10 pounds, you might only put on 3 or 4. This is just a sample of some of the beautiful food that you can enjoy on board our cruises, just to whet your appetite. And then these are just some of the other fabulous spaces that we have on board our ship. This is the beautiful Grand Plaza on Edge and Apex. So during the day you can relax here, have a coffee and unwind. At night then we have cocktails in the martini bar, and it becomes alive with entertainment. We also have Eden, which again during the day is a lovely place to chill and relax, and at night it becomes a vibrant entertainment area with restaurants, etc. So really something for everyone. And when it comes to entertainment, we have world-class entertainment on board our ships. We have everything from music shows to West End, Broadway type shows. We even have some American ballet theatre on certain cruises as well. And on our new ships, Edge and Apex, we have state-of-the-art theatre, which has just brought our productions to the next level. So really there is something for everyone on board our ships when it comes to entertainment. Last November, we changed our pricing structure to make it a more simplified structure for everyone to understand, and we introduced Always Included. And this, I have a little video, which I think is going to explain very easily what Always Included is about to you.
Booking most cruises could be complicated. Limited time promotions that only apply sometimes on some rooms to some places. But this isn't most cruises. This is Celebrity Cruises. And we think cruising shouldn't be confusing. That's why drinks, Wi-Fi and tips are now always included. Every sailing, every room, every time. Always included. Celebrity Cruises.
So I think that video pretty much explains the concept of Always Included. So for when you book your stateroom, your tips, your Wi-Fi, surf Wi-Fi, and the classic drinks package is included. We have some upgrading options. So if you wish to upgrade to Elevate, you can for €24 per person per day. And this means that you will get the premium drinks package, and you would also get onboard credit for shore excursions. And for example, if you had a 6 to 9 cruise, you get $150 per person. We then also have another package called Indulge. So with Indulge, you get everything that you get in Elevate, but you get stream Wi-Fi, so therefore you can download movies, etc. And then you get additional onboard credit. So you would, for example, get $300 per person for a 6 to 9 night cruise. So they're just the options that we have for Always Included. And just to highlight that if you stay in the retreat, so if you're a suite class guest, you automatically get the Indulge package included. Then we're just coming to destinations. So as you can see, we travel to over 280 destinations, as mentioned, on the 7 continents. Obviously, I can't talk about all 280 destinations this evening, but what I am going to do is just talk about a couple. We have noticed that obviously a lot of people didn't get to travel last year, and travel this year looks probably a little unlikely as well. So what I've done is I picked some bucket list destinations to start off with, and we're going to show you the first one, which is Alaska. And I have a really lovely video here, which is narrated by one of my colleagues, Emma, who did her own cruise to Alaska, and she highlights some of her own experiences, which I think will give you a nice taste of what we have to offer in Alaska.
My favourite destination in the world is Alaska, and until you've been to Alaska, you can't appreciate how incredible Alaska's scenery is, and of course the wildlife in Alaska's wilderness. have 3 ships in Alaska, and they sail from either Seattle, Vancouver or Seward, and typically it's from May until September. These are the sailings we have on offer at Celebrity Cruises. On every Celebrity Cruises itinerary, every single guest will visit a glacier. So this is really a unique selling point, whether it is Dawes Glacier or my personal favourite, which is the Hubbard Glacier, 6 miles wide, and it is incredible to see. There's lots of different forms of wildlife in Alaska, and I really like to refer to this as WEB, which is whales, eagles and bears. So whales, I was lucky enough to see them in the natural environment as I was walking into Icy Strait Point. Bald eagles, they are everywhere in Alaska. Of course, you're going to be able to see those. And if you're lucky enough to see bears too. So again, the small group excursions, we take them right into the wilderness of Alaska to really see if we can see some of those bears. Guests on board can expect to hear lots of information about Alaska itself. We do have the dedicated teams that have sailed in Alaska many times, but we also bring on naturalists and guest speakers who can really bring to life Alaska and what our guests should be looking for. And of course, on our Solstice class ships, we have half an acre of real grass for customers to sit back and relax and really take in the breathtaking views as we sail. Celebrity Cruises, 85% of the ship is typically a balcony and above, which is a great option for your customers to choose from. My personal recommendation is to go for Aqua Class, having dedicated restaurant Blue to have for breakfast and dinner. But of course, when you are in Alaska, you've been out all day, it's great to come back, sit back and relax in the Persian Garden on the hot beds as you're sailing from port to port. There are pre and post cruise tours available, so if you do have customers that are looking for that experience to extend their stay with a premium rail journey, we have that itinerary available that they can package that onto. For anyone that's thinking of Alaska, definitely do it. It really is a bucket list destination and it should be ticked off.
So I think that video certainly gave us all a lovely taste for what's in store in Alaska. As Emma mentioned, the Alaska season runs from May to September, and it certainly is a paradise for anyone who's into wildlife. The long daylight hours makes it perfect for lots of photo opportunities. As Emma also mentioned, every sailing will include a sail by a glacier and also through the Inside Passage. What we find as well is that a lot of guests like to combine a cruise tour either before or after their Alaska cruise. So the staff in Platinum Travel will be able to look into that for you if you wish to do that. Next, I'm going to take you to Europe, a little bit closer to home. And we have 6 ships in Europe in 2022, and 2 of our brand new ships, Edge and Apex, will also be based in Europe in 2022. So there are lots of options. I have a nice little video here that's going to show you some of the highlights of cruising in the Med to give you a little bit of inspiration. So yes, that certainly makes me want to get on a plane and head to the sunnier climes. We found that one of the most popular destinations for cruising in the Mediterranean is the lovely sun-drenched Greek islands. Our new ship, Celebrity Apex, is offering 7-night sailings from Rome, and 3 of our other ships all touch the Greek islands. They incorporate the Greek islands with Turkey, with Croatia. So there's lots of options for cruising in the Mediterranean with us in 2020. And again, the staff in Platinum Travel, if you decide where you want to go, they'll be able to look up the cruise that suits the destinations you want to go to. For those who want something a little bit different and maybe not so much sunshine, we also have fabulous cruises to the Norwegian fjords. I actually did the fjords myself 2 years ago, and it was just absolutely stunning. I loved it. Our newest ship, Apex, is going to be based out of Amsterdam for the summer of 2022, and she is doing some lovely sailings to lovely 7-night sailings to the Norwegian fjords. She's also doing some really nice 12-night Scan Russia sailings as well, with an overnight in St. Petersburg. And if you're looking for something really, really different, she's also doing 3 12-night Israel and the Holy Land cruises with an overnight in Jerusalem, calling into Ephesus. So again, if you're looking for something a little bit different, beyond the usual Mediterranean, there's lots of other options, as you can see, for 2022 in Europe. And then finally, I'm going to take you down under. That lovely ship you saw in Alaska, Celebrity Eclipse. When she's finished her Alaska season at the end of September, she will sail down under to head for some winter sunshine. And we will have cruises. We actually have 19 different itineraries out of Australia and New Zealand for 2022-2023. So you may be considering doing a bucket list trip to Australia. You mightn't have even thought about doing a cruise, but you might now think about maybe adding a cruise on, or making a cruise, your whole trip down there. I'm going to show you another little video of what you can expect down under. So as I mentioned, there are so many different itineraries out of Australia. We have a lovely, there's a 9-night Melbourne, Adelaide, Hobart wine cruise. That's definitely one I think that I would be interested in. But one of the most popular ones we have is the Great Barrier Reef, it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It covers 133 square miles. There's 3,000 coral reefs and 900 islands. It's just an amazing place. And for anyone who's into snorkeling or diving, anything like that, it's just pure paradise. And one of the excursions you can actually do when the ship overnights in Cairns is there's an option to sleep under the stars on a private pontoon floating above the Great Barrier Reef. And that would definitely be on my bucket list. As I mentioned, all these cruises can be tailor-made, and the staff in Platinum Travel will be able to do this for you. So you just let them know where it is you want to go, what destinations you want to include in your itinerary, and they are able to book this for you. We also, just to highlight, have our Cruise with Confidence policy. We extended that now for bookings up until the 31st of May. So just to give you confidence when you are booking. And again, the staff in Platinum Travel will be able to give you all the information regarding this. So I just want to thank you so much for your attention tonight. I hope I've given you some inspiration for your next cruise holiday, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Now, thank you to Valerie, who, as we said, unfortunately isn't here live this evening, but I think you'll all see she did a really, really good job doing that presentation, especially for us, and recording it for us earlier this week. I had a chat with her on the phone. I feel a bit like Ryan Tuberty that I had a recorded interview with Valerie, but we did have a chat earlier in the week. And the thing that stood out with me was when she talked about obviously they've amazing itineraries all over the world, as do the other guys, and they had the Elevate and Indulge packages, which give you those added extras. I mean, they always have the always included, which is the drinks, gratuities and Wi-Fi, but just by paying an extra €24 per person per day, you can get the extra drinks included, the premium drinks, and you get onboard credit. And then another extra 24, they have even more onboard credit. So it's phenomenal value. And like with Silversea, so much included when you look at what you get when you get on board. The reason we talked about these is because the prices on board for some things can be quite expensive. So it's always worth weighing it up before you go with Celebrity. If you paid an extra few quid, if you're going to have the premium gin or the premium wine or whatever it is you're going to have, that you weigh it up before you go. So it was just a kind of key point that came across with the value there. Also the videos, I know that they were a little bit off sync at my end, so it might have been the same for you guys. If you want to see any of those videos again, we can send them to you if you just want to have a browse. And I know, Amanda, you said the same earlier when we chatted that you have videos too, and Nabil, if anybody wants to look at those. And I'm sure the guys won't mind me saying, guys and ladies, won't mind me saying that if you are needing to speak with any of them about a specific cruise, they are here to help, and we can arrange a call with us all for you. I think, was there anything else I needed to say? No, yeah, the only other thing I thought of was the Alaska cruise that she mentioned, and again, the same with the other cruise ships here, or cruise lines this evening. Anybody that was on our tour, our virtual inspirational evening last night will have seen the Rocky Mountaineer. So the Alaska cruise ties in very nicely with the Rocky Mountaineer. So that is something that if you're seeing the cruises you like tonight, you can pick one of those and then tie it in with the Rocky Mountaineer. It's something we see happen quite a bit, those two twinned together. So they were my few notes for Valerie that I had spoken to her about. And Paula, have you any questions there that I can try and answer?
There was just Tommy. Yeah, Tommy has just asked: do Celebrity Cruises include flights and transfers in their prices?
Very similar to their sister property, which is our sister cruise, which is Royal Caribbean. They will do flights all over the world as well. And if it's in the next 10 months, the fares should be fairly reasonable. I spoke to Valerie about this. If it's outside the 10 or 12 months, their standard prices could be quite high, so it might be worth hanging on until they're properly loaded. So answer to that question is definitely yes, and they have some really, really good fares. And like all these fly cruise prices, they can change when they fill up. And as Amanda and Nabil will be saying, that the cruisers book early. They book early and they book far ahead. And the more you cruise, the further ahead you book. So the trick is, if you see a price you like with the flights included, grab it, because the prices do fluctuate for flights. So hope that answers it. Have you any other questions there, Paula? Sorry, or do you want to keep them to the end?
No, not at the moment. No, I have one more actually, but it combines both products, the three products anyway. So yeah, we can talk about that when we're finished.
And again, yeah, anything for Valerie, we can fire along to her, and she'll chat to anybody individually if we need to. So everybody is still here. Thank you all for waiting for the lovely Nabil, and Nabil, you've been very patient. And so we're going to hand over to you now and let you share your screen and work away there. We look forward to hearing all about Ponant. This is a very exciting product, I have to say. I'm dying to see this tonight. I'll leave it to you. I'll go mute now. Thanks.
All right. So hopefully you see my screen. Thank you very much, everyone, for staying online. So I'm French. My name is Nabil Maillard, and I'm going to introduce you to the world of Ponant. So Ponant, in a nutshell, we have two different kinds of cruises, yachting cruises, as well as expedition cruises. I will tackle a little bit more into the expedition cruises world. Only one difference for us between those two: expedition cruises, the excursions will be included in the price, whereas in the yachting cruise, you will have to pre-book these excursions if you want. We have many options. Otherwise, it's pretty much all inclusive. I'll come back to that point later on. So just in a nutshell, for you to know as well, we are part of Artemis Group. Artemis Group is the owner of brands such as Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, Boucheron, as well as Christie's. So those are our sister brands. So it gives you a little bit of a background of the luxury level we'll offer in Ponant. Few words about Ponant you hopefully will remember as well. So the first one is that we have a modern fleet. All our older ship has been built in 2010, and since then we've built 12 luxurious vessels. They are all certified green ship vessels. Large variety of itineraries with more than 450 itineraries covering more than 100 countries. Exclusivity, so here we are talking about as well trying to get you really far away from busier shipping routes thanks to the size of our vessels. The size of our vessels, so I would say that they are more into the boutique world of the cruise industry. We are really offering an intimate feeling, like if you were on your own private yacht. Last point, but not least, of course, we are a French cruise company. So, of course, on board, you will have a French art of living, that little je ne sais quoi, and refined gastronomy as well. Those are just few examples of that Frenchness on board with Veuve Clicquot for the champagne, La Durée for the macaroons. Hopefully you tried this. If not, please go and buy some of them or come on Ponant and try them. Hermès for the toiletterie. Ducasse, so Mr. Ducasse, he's a 3-star Michelin chef, and we are working with him for several years already, him and his team, and he's really helping us to get to the best level at sea for restaurants. Just for your information, maybe some of you might know the Dorchester Hotel in London. So he's, for instance, the chef of this beautiful hotel. Paul for viennoiserie, as well as Sotis for the spa. So only beautiful brands and high-end luxury. So who is a Ponant customer? Just to give you a little bit of a background, because you might ask yourself this question. So we tend to see a large variety in terms of age, from 40 years old to 80 years old and plus, also 30 in their 30s as well. We do have a lot of single travelers. We have a lot of offers without any single supplement, 0 single supplement, and you will have your own cabin, a normal cabin. So if you are a solo traveler, please keep an eye on Ponant. Over 50% of our clientele is coming from English-speaking countries. So of course, French will of course as well speak English. For the menus, for the announcement, for the excursions, everything will be given in French as well as in English. Those are the 2 official languages on board. So we have many themed cruises, diving, photography, and so on. So yes, this is just giving you a little bit of a background of who is Ponant customer. A quick note on the inclusive bit of Ponant. So we are pretty much all inclusive. So all meals, open bar policy with good drinks from champagne to gin and so on, whiskeys. Taxis will be included. The sauna is for free, or steam room when we have a steam room. 24-hour room service, butler in suites, shore excursions when it's an expedition, and of course unlimited Wi-Fi. That does work really well. I've been myself to Antarctica, and I was, for instance, doing some video with my family. So it does work really, really, really great. So yes, it's pretty much all inclusive. The only thing that is not included, I would say, is the gratuities, just because we feel that if you want to give us to reward our crew so with some gratuities, it's up to you. We don't want to make this compulsory from the right beginning. It's your choice. If you are really satisfied, you can give more, or you can give nothing, but it's entirely up to you at the end of the cruise. Our fleet, so just for you also to visually see the evolution of Ponant. So we have a beautiful three-masted ship called Le Ponant. She's our oldest ship, created about 31 years ago, built 31 years ago. Since then, from 2010, we received 4 sister ships. The Explorers, we have 6 of them from 2018 to 2020, as well as Le Commandant Charcot. I will speak a little bit more about Le Commandant Charcot in a while. Those are our 4 different ones. Le Ponant with 16 cabins, our sister ships with 122 up to 132 cabins, 95% balcony. Then we have the Explorers on the bottom right of the screen with only 92 cabins. We are getting even smaller, more into the boutique world again with 100% balconies. And the last of our ship is Le Commandant Charcot. She's our Polar Explorer with 135 cabins. This is just for you to visually see those ships, for instance, with a Celebrity Eclipse next to our ship. Visually, it's quite impressive. So here we are really talking about different experiences. The lowest deck with balconies of the Celebrities, basically at the level of our highest deck in Ponant. So just for you also to be really aware about Le Commandant Charcot, she's a true unique vessel. She's being built currently, and she will be available and sailing from July and onwards. So Le Commandant Charcot, she's a true polar explorer. As you can see here, this is maybe a little complicated chart, but this is really important for you to understand that to go in certain places in the world, you have to have some ice capacity. And Le Commandant Charcot, she's respecting one of the highest standards in the cruise world. Most of our other cruise companies, they are at PC6. If you look at the green line, and Le Commandant Charcot is at PC2. So it gives her the possibility to get even deeper in Antarctica or in the Arctic, for instance. So now let's get into how Ponant vessels look like. So for instance, on the top left corner, you see one of our restaurants. In the restaurants, we can welcome everybody at the same time. So you don't have to queue, you don't have to pre-book. It's really open dining when you want to eat. So that is really, really fabulous. On the top, that was on the top left, sorry. On the top right, you see that we have a heated pool, of course, with a lot of benches all around, and as well an outdoor bar. On the bottom left, this is our observatory lounge. As you can see, it's really open to the exterior world with a lot of and this is really important for us because we want you to really discover the world and see the beauty of the world. The bottom right is one of our spa, and this is included in the price for you. This is one of the main places in the ship. So the main lounge, as you can see, beautiful bar, beautifully made, really again open to the exterior world with a large variety of choice in terms of drinks and so on. This is the theater. All our theaters, we have one theater in all our ships, and all the theaters can welcome every single guest. This is really important for us because we can do conferences, we can do shows, and so on. So this is a key element of our ships as well. Of course, now the cabins and suites. So I've made a quick selection of different cabin categories. I'd like to first start with the bottom right corner, which is one of our cabin deluxe. It's actually our entry-level cabin. So as you can see, an entry-level cabin in Ponant is really already good with 19 square meters plus the balcony. So you do have a balcony with the entry-level cabins. And as it's a large double bed, really comfy. You have enough space to walk around. So this is important. On the top left corner, now we are talking about the owner suite, so the most luxurious suite you can find on board Ponant ship. And on this one, so this is 45 square meters plus a large balcony with a hot tub on the balcony as well. The other cabins are in between cabins, but the main thing that is going to be in all our category of cabins is the fact that they are open to the exterior world, and they are really brand new cabins as well as brand new ships. So at the back of some of our ships, we have infinity pool, as you can see, and we have also a water sports platform that we can put on the water for you to enjoy the surrounding. We also have on our Explorers what we call the Blue Eye, which is the world's first multi-sensorial underwater lounge. This is truly unique. You cannot find this anywhere except in Ponant ship. So it's literally 2.5 meters below the sea level. You can see through two strong glasses. You can see the fauna, the flora. We've seen some dolphins, and you actually can hear them as well, because some captors will be capturing 5 kilometers around the ship, the sounds of the nature. This is also a lounge, so you all this having your cup of champagne or your orange juice if you prefer. Now, I just want to tackle a little bit, just to really trying to give you what is the Ponant atmosphere. So Ponant atmosphere is really being flexible. So on that specific area, we were between Greenland and North Canada. Involved everyone, all our guests, into the aim of that cruise. The aim of that cruise was to get as north as possible. That was the aim. The captain said this right at the beginning of the cruise, and everybody was really excited about this. So as you can see here, they did try, this is a map, they did try really hard. But well, it was an expedition cruise. So in expedition cruise, things can happen. Unexpected things can happen. So in that case, a lot of ice. We won't go through this. So we could have said to all our guests, sorry, that's it, end of the adventure, and you can enjoy your complimentary glass and so on. But no, this is not the Ponant style. The Ponant style is really to give you the best we can. So we decided to stop in the ice, and the expedition team, as well as the captain, they disembarked themselves on the ice, and they triple checked the thickness of the ice. Because it was thick enough, they decided to disembark everybody, all the guests, at the same time in front of the ship, and popped up some bottle of champagne. This is the Ponant style. We want to give you the best we can. We know what we do. We've been around for more than 30 years. So we allow ourselves to do this, and this is giving you incredible experiences. Where are we going? You might now ask yourself this question. In a nutshell, more than 100 countries, 500 destinations, and more. This is just covering the whole world. But I've decided for you to select a few cruises. So the first one I've decided to select is one in September this year, but we have many other dates as well later in 2021 as well as in 2022. This is an 8 days cruise from Nice, and the price is just below 3,000 euros per person. It's going all around Corsica. In Corsica, you might know this, but it's called the beauty of the Mediterranean coast. It's a fantastic island, a lot of culture, a lot of beautiful places, and a strong also culture in terms of food and beverage. So it's a fantastic island to discover, and what a better way to discover Corsica than being on a French ship and going all around it. The second one is one of our best sellers. So you might know that Seychelles is really doing quite well with the COVID situation, and we are really strong in Seychelles. So this one is starting actually in May in Victoria and going through the Indian Ocean and going to Maldives, Ba'a Atoll. Ba'a Atoll is one of the most beautiful places if you want to dive or if you want to scuba dive as well in the world. And then you finish in Sri Lanka. The price here is 4,610 euros per person. Those prices, they do not include flights. So I will encourage you to get in contact with Chiara or Paula or anyone in Platinum so you can also have their help for the flights if you were asking yourself this question. The next one is the unexplored Svalbard. So Svalbard is part of Norway. It's really up north in Europe. And it's, as you can see, it's almost touching the ice floes. So this specific cruise is amazing because you literally circumnavigate all around Svalbard. So you're touching east, west, and all these places, as you can see in the picture, are not only beautiful, but they are really different. And being on board a Ponant ship with the real experts will really allow you to understand clearly what you are seeing, the beautiful things that you are seeing. So here, again, just a quick note, all the excursions will be included. You don't have to pay any extras. So it's pretty much easy for you. You come and you at the end of the cruise, you don't have to pay something else. Here, I just wanted to include as well some iconic itineraries that we are doing, that we are pretty much the only one in the world doing because we have Le Commandant Charcot Explorer. The first one is literally taking you to the geographic North Pole. If you have the geographic North Pole in your bucket list, I think it's quite hard for you to reach it. I give you tonight an option for you to reach this in 15 nights. The price, yes, is expensive, but if you look at where we are taking you, of course, it's an amazing experience, and no one else, pretty much no one else in the world can give you that opportunity as well. This one is going to Antarctica. It's starting in Chile and finishing in Ushuaia. And the beautiful thing with this one is that it's 18 nights and it's going way down below the Antarctic Circle. So if you compare, if you look at many other Antarctic cruises, you might be interested, you will realize that they are touching, most of them, including some of ours, they are touching just the peninsula, the north part of the peninsula. The good thing with this one is clearly that we are getting really down south up to Peter First Island. Peter First Island is one of the most untouched islands in the world. I can't remember how many people went there, but you can count them almost in two hands. You know, it's quite crazy. You go through Pourquoi Pas Island, Margaret Bay, Charcot Island, and so on. I also wanted to include this one, which is the best we have. So here, again, on Le Commandant Charcot, in 24 nights, starting in Ushuaia, you will get down to the Ross Sea. This is a true adventure. You cannot discover more than this Antarctica. Here you will see, you have the chance to see penguin, like emperor penguins, and so on. So this one is truly, truly exceptional. I've selected few of my pictures. I've been myself to Antarctica, not down South Ross Sea, I wish, but to Antarctica, which is a fantastic and fabulous experience. So on the top left, this is me being on the bridge. Yes, we have an open bridge policy. So the captain or the officers, they are here to help to answer your questions. So and it's amazing because it's the best place to see all the surrounding. On the top right corner, this is me doing some hikes. So it's every single day you will have one, two, even if not 3 options to discover Antarctica or discover other places. Bottom left, this is us next to penguins. And I know that we had a question regarding zodiacs. So here you go on the bottom right, you have a zodiac. And we have a nice platform, flat platform. So it's really easy for you to embark and disembark into those zodiacs. So everything has been thought from the beginning with us to help you doing this. So while booking in with us, in a nutshell, we have more than 30 years expertise. We have an excellent value with a high-end luxury 5-star experience. We have been selected by National Geographic to be their international cruise partner. We have the most modern fleet in the world. We have in place as well a sanitary protocol. All our ships are certified green, and we have an adapted policy. So for the COVID safe protocol, Ponant has been leading the way of the cruise industry. We had more than 60 cruises last summer that we've done without any problem, right in the middle of the COVID crisis. So we know what is it to do some cruises in that world. So feel really relaxed by booking with us. This is just details about it. If you want, of course, the team of Platinum can send you the protocol so you can have a look and have an idea for yourself. We've been rewarded as the greenest cruise ship in the world last year by an independent German company called Nabu. So you can have a look online if you want. And we have an adapted policy. Again, feel free to ask Chiara or Paula. And we have, of course, 250 euros onboard credit for all new to Ponant. And this is per person. So that's it. Thank you very much. See you on board, hopefully, and feel free to ask your questions.
Wow, Nabil. Wow. I have to say, initially I was going to say you had me at macaroons and champagne at the very start. You didn't need to. Sorry, make sure my microphone is okay. People can hear me. Yeah, you had me at macaroons and champagne, but by the end, my God, you had me at the North Pole and the Indian Ocean, and there's so much there. I'm sure Paula has lots of questions. The couple of questions. Yeah, first of all, I want to point out, I think the Seychelles and the Maldives and Sri Lanka, that's a really, really good option before we talk about the expedition stuff. Because when you look at the prices of hotels and people going all inclusive and going down to the Indian Ocean, we've been selling it for a long time. This is an ideal option to see an awful lot more when you're down there and pay very similar prices, because anybody that's been to any of the Seychelles, the Maldives, will know that those prices, that will get you maybe 7-8 nights, you know, so you're getting an awful lot more and you're seeing an awful lot more by doing it by cruise. So I think it's a good one for people to maybe consider as an option. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. It's one of our bestseller, quite by far. And this one I've selected it because it includes Maldives and Sri Lanka. But if you want, we have also an option only, and you know this, Chiara, we have an option doing all Seychelles Islands atolls, and it's slightly less expensive. It's just above 3,000 euros, and it's 8 nights, so it's even cheaper than going to all those atolls and hotels through hotels. So it's definitely one of the best way to visit Seychelles.
Absolutely, 100%. And I know that from years of doing it, it's a great one, and I think we should be suggesting it more, definitely. Switching straight to the North Pole, I have to ask, is that true? That just blew me away about everybody getting off the ship and standing on the ice. I mean, that is just an iconic moment.
Yes. This is terrific. I mean, this is maybe in the bucket list of everyone, but no one is like just hoping to one day do it. And actually now you have that possibility. And you know, we can here I just show you a map and a beautiful polar bear. But I can make a 3-hour presentation on how we thought about everything, how technical the ship is. How we'll have also you involved in that discovery and so on. So it's not only going to the North Pole, but it's truly becoming almost an expedition leader yourself. So it's a true experience.
Absolutely. And this is something, I suppose, for a trip like this, or similar with one of Amanda's trips, that you could take a call from one of our customers or our clients and have a personal call with them.
Oh, yes.
You'd be the same, Amanda, if there was a specific, especially the bigger ones, a lot of money and people have to think long and hard about these. And I like that you showed, and similar with Amanda, that, you know, from the less than £3,000 right all the way up. So these are stunning trips, but there's something for everyone, absolutely something for everyone. And the last point I wanted to make before Paula goes into the questions was the open bridge. I mean, the bridge is precious, very, very precious. And anybody who's a captain or a pilot or whatever will know your cockpit, your bridge is it's a sacred space. So that's fairly impressive that it's an open bridge policy.
Yes, yes. Every single day in my cruise in Antarctica, I was up at 6 a.m. and at 6:05 I was in the bridge. At the end of the cruise, the captain knew that I will be here, so he invited me actually on the last day, and he said like, you are the guy who are every single day at 6 a.m. on the bridge, and I've just been there. So great. Those guys are so insightful, and just being there, and you really feel that you really feel not anymore like a passenger, but like someone who is truly here to discover something, and it's amazing, amazing policy, I must admit.
Tourist policy, and like with all the expedition ships, and again, just to Amanda has the same. These aren't just regular crew members on board. You have specialists on board to talk about the wildlife, to do the excursions. Both of you have that. Would I be right in saying that about the expedition for both of you?
Yes, yes, I'm sure Amanda will agree with me, but yes, we have indeed an expedition team. They are made of photographers, historians, glaciologists, people who around the world, and the good thing with them is not only they can speak about the local destination you will travel to, but they can speak as well about pretty much the whole world. They can introduce you to their specialty. It can be whales, it can be penguins, it can be the just like the mountains, you know. For instance, the top left mountain you can see here was something super specific mountain, and we had like an hour conference on that specific mountain. So to give you just a little bit of perspective, how is it to be with those experts?
Excellent, absolutely excellent. And were you going to say something there, Amanda, as well, similar for you, same?
Absolutely the same, yes.
Yeah.
The different knowledge that comes on board, you get off, you've got your small groups, and yeah, it really is with expedition. It's what you're going to learn and what you're going to see and how close you can get to it with both of our ships. Really, it's exactly the same.
And that's why the prices will be higher where you're going and this expertise on board. Right, I'll stop talking now because I could talk about this forever, and I'll let Paula get on to the questions.
The first question, and Nabil, you actually touched on this during your presentation. Carmel has just asked, are flights included in the Ponant prices?
So in most of our itineraries, they won't be included. The only thing when there will be some of them included will be when it's a hard destination to reach. So for instance, to go to Ushuaia, you will have, in the price that I showed you, you will have included flights from Buenos Aires down to Ushuaia. So this is pretty much where we are helping you guys to reach quite difficult places.
Perfect.
Steve has said, you talked a lot about the Frenchness on board. Is that reflected in the cuisine, and how do you also cater for those who might prefer other international tastes?
Yes, and I'm the first to follow you here. So I love the French food, but you know, 7 days in a row of French food, it's too much even for a French guy. So we took care of this by obviously giving other options that are in the menu, always in the menu. We have burgers, they are exceptionals. We have many other things, but it's not only every day also French. Sometimes we have Asiatic night. Sometimes we have as well, I don't know, it can be Italian night or Italian morning or something like this. So every single day we vary the food, and normally, thanks to Mr. Alain Ducasse, you won't eat the same dish within 3 weeks of cruise. So this is quite good as well for you. Every day, every night, you can have something different.
Donal and Maria have just asked, what is the typical profile age of customers, actually for each of the 3 options? So Nabil first.
Yes. So the age, average age of our customers is 61 years old. That being said, it can vary a lot. I know that in expedition cruise in Antarctica, it can be 50 years old, or it can be, if we go to Japan, it can be a bit more. In the Med, it can be 70, or it can be, it depends really on the groups. We have such a small capacity of passengers that if you bring 10 people that are 90, then the cruise will be already getting close to 72 years old. It gets really, it varies a lot, but we do have a lot of people around 50, 60 years old, if I have to give you only one answer.
And Amanda?
Yep.
Sorry, Amanda, yeah.
Very, very similar. I think a lot of the age is dominated by the region that you're sailing in. So we tend to find that the Caribbean pulls a much younger market. Mediterranean also can bring a younger market, and obviously Expedition does. So I would say it really depends, but there's a nice difference. I would say from about 50 to 80 you go to. So it just depends, but there's normally a really nice mix on board.
Nabil Donal has asked, do you give advice on clothes to wear, especially to the colder areas?
Yes, so on the day you book, afterwards you will receive, of course, everything, like a little package explaining everything you should bring. Will advise you not only on clothes, but also what you should bring in terms of, I don't know, sun cream or something like this. And the jacket you can see, the parkas you can see on those pictures. So the yellow ones, we give that to you guys, so you can take them back home as well.
Marion has asked, actually she asked about Silversea's older age group, which Amanda's just addressed there. She's also asked, on all the ships that we've talked about, are there casinos on board? So I know there are on Celebrity, so yeah.
Yeah, we have casinos on all the classic ships as well.
And on our, we don't have any casino, but every day we pretty much organize like a little challenge, like Amanda was saying also. And it's, well, you can win little things, but it's not a true casino.
And Ciara, I've actually got a question for you, and in brackets it says it's probably a bit unfair. This is from Neil. How would you briefly differentiate between the three brands, and which types of client would you tend to steer towards each brand?
Oh goodness, that's a tricky one. I have to say, you know, when we open these presentations, Nabil, I'll ask you to stop sharing there, just so I can start sharing on my side in a sec, if you don't mind. Thanks a million. I love the pictures though. I could look at them all day.
No problem.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. But gosh, you know what? No two clients are the same. No two ships are the same. So when we have a client come in the door, it really depends on what they're asking for. So it would depend on where the destination is. You would always ask the client, is it the destination they want to go? Is it the ship? Because it really will vary depending on what the client is actually looking for. And I also think, you know, are they traveling with a family? If they were traveling with a family, I would go straight probably to Celebrity if they had smaller kids, because Ponant and Silversea would be for slightly older. But in saying that, if they had an older family generation, you could go, if that was a family reunion, you could go on either of those two ships. I don't really like, it's like picking one, it's not my favorite children, but they're all so different and they're all so unique in their own way. I would show the ships to the clients, I would show them the videos, I'd show them the images, and you know, people will warm. It's like picking a hotel. You know, you have different hotels for different people and you warm towards one or the other. The food is excellent on board all three. If you don't really want a big ship, you want a smaller ship, I'd lean towards Ponant Silversea over Celebrity. And again, I would go down to listening to the client and the destination. Good old Neil though, coming up with a good question for me, keep me on my toes. And any more questions there, Paul, or is that all of them?
The last one then is just, Sarah's just asked, will excursions, can they be pre-booked before they travel?
And that's a question for everybody, I presume, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Celebrity, definitely yes. I know that for an answer, so I'll let the others answer.
Okay, with Silversea, you can go online. We have something called My Silversea, and you can read all about the destination, and then you can choose your excursion. And there's sometimes ones for the morning, you can have all day ones, you can have evening ones, because what we are good at is we stay a lot longer in port, so sometimes we overnight as well. So there's all different excursions, and you can book them, and actually you can change them until 24 hours before the excursion. So if you book them, you can book them online. I think it's 180 days before, but it could be, it's either 180 or 120, I can't quite remember. But you can book them before, you book them on My Silversea, and if you want to change them when you've listened to the port talks, you can do that up to 24 hours before on the ship.
Absolutely. And it's all around, it could be the excursion that might tweak a cruise for you. There might be a specific excursion you want that only one cruise line does, and that might be the reason that you choose it. Fantastic. Well,
and can they be pre-booked for Ponant as well?
And for Ponant, it's Amanda, I think you did explain quite well how it works. It's pretty much similar. I think in Ponant it's 4 months before for yachting cruises, and when it's expedition cruises, obviously it's already included, so you don't have to pre-book anything, any excursions.
Okay, well, I can't thank you enough. I know we've kept everybody for nearly an hour and a half, but you can see there's so much to consider when you're considering cruising. And I think with the itineraries, the destinations, the ships, and the value that you've seen tonight, you're spoiled for choice, absolutely spoiled for choice. There's an awful lot to take in, so we will follow up with everyone. And if anybody needs, to speak to Nabil, Amanda, or myself, or Paula, or Val, or wants more information on any specific destination, we'll also follow up with the offers and everything that were there. But most of all, we hope that we gave you a bit of escapism from life at the moment. That's the whole point of this week, is that you guys are escaping and dreaming and thinking about 2022 or whenever it is that you're going to travel. That's what we're here for. We're going to take a break tomorrow night. You'll be delighted to know. I'm going to show you now what's on next week for our second week. Let me just share this with you all. I hope you can see that. Can you see that, Paula? You can?
Yep.
Okay, we'll take Valerie off. We won't make her present again. So next week, just anybody that was here earlier in the week, you'll know that we mentioned next week of USA Week. So we've all these destinations coming with us next week. And I think it's important to know that if there's anywhere, any of these destinations, you can do them with a cruise, you can do them by rail, you can do them by fly drive, by RV, and by escorted tour. So next week is about the destination of the USA, and we have some really great guests who know all these destinations very well. So if you haven't signed up already, then pop along to the website. It's fairly self-explanatory, or just drop us an email to info@platinumtravel.ie and we can go through everything with you. Same format, 7:30 next week. And other than that, just want to say thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to all our guests. Thank you to Nabil and Amanda, and to our distant Valerie. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do these nights without them. So thank you guys for joining us this evening.